Hello class, my name is Shayna Bazella and I'm going to be discussing part 1 of the case study project for SPCE 638. To provide you with a little bit of background information about the client that will be the focus of the case study, she is a female who is 6 years old and she has a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. The primary behavior of concern that we are dealing with at the clinic right now is her engagement in noncompliance. And the operational definition of noncompliance is any instance of the client not beginning or finishing any academic or non-academic request within 3 seconds after instruction has been given. This includes saying no or shaking head no. The assessment tool that was utilized in order to help determine the function of her noncompliance was a functional behavior assessment. This included observing her in her natural environment and collecting ABC data. I did this over a period of 4 weeks with 2-hour observations each week. And in addition to that, I also conducted a functional assessment interview with her caregiver as well as her teacher. The rationale for selecting these assessment tools, beginning with the ABC data collection, this was chosen because it helps to provide a detailed look at the antecedents and the consequences of the behavior as it occurs. And this method is also essential for understanding the context in which the noncompliance is occurring. In addition, I decided to do a functional assessment interview because this helps to gather qualitative data from those who interact with the child on a daily basis. And it helps to provide insights into the client's behavior across various settings and situations. This slide outlines the assessment results. Based on the ABC data that was collected, it was determined that 49% of the instances involved tangibles, 11% of the instances involved attention, 40% of the instances involved escape, and 0% of the instances involved automatic reinforcement. Based on these results, it was determined that the client's noncompliance serves 2 primary functions. Access, where she seeks to gain access to preferred items that have been denied, such as Play-Doh and slime, and escape, where she seeks to avoid non-preferred tasks such as academic worksheets that she finds to be highly aversive. In the next couple of slides, I will be integrating some of the BACB task list items as they relate to this case study. The first task list item that I will be describing is F1, review records and available data. So the initial step of the FBA process involved reviewing all available records for the client. This included things such as educational records, medical history, any available data collected on the client, things of that nature. This helped me to ensure that I had a thorough understanding of the client's background prior to the start of the FBA process. The next task list item that I'll be describing is F2, determine the need for behavior analytics services. So based on the data that had been collected through the use of the FBA, as I described, I collected ABC data on the client in addition to conducting an FAI. The data indicated there was a clear pattern of noncompliance. This behavior was occurring as often as 25 times over a 2-hour observation period and was interfering with her ability to learn effectively in the classroom setting. Given the high frequency of this behavior, it helped to establish a need for behavior analytics services to address her noncompliance. The next task list item that I will be discussing is F3, identify and prioritize socially significant behavior change goals. So, based on the FBA results, The identified goals were that we wanted to increase her compliance with instructions while also decreasing her instances of noncompliance. These goals were determined as being socially significant due to it being identified that her noncompliance was having a significant impact on her academic performance and daily functioning. The next task list item I will be describing is F6, describe the common functions of problem behavior. Based on the results that were utilized from the FBA process, we were able to identify the functions of her noncompliance behavior. It was determined that the functions of her behavior were primarily access to tangibles, which accounted for 49% of the occurrences, and escape from task demands, which accounted for 40% of the occurrences during the observation period. Based on these results, we are going to be tailoring the interventions so that they address these functions of her behavior. The final task list item that I will be focusing on is F9, interpret functional assessment data. As we completed the FBA process, we interpreted the ABC data and the FAI results. Based on that data, it was determined that the functions of her noncompliance are access to tangibles and escape, as both of these accounted for the highest percentages of occurrences during the observation period. As previously mentioned, access to tangibles accounted for 49% of occurrences, and escape accounted for 40% of occurrences. Moving forward, we will be designing replacement behavior goals that align with these behavior functions. For example, goals such as accepting denied access with an alternative, or completing non-preferred tasks without maladaptive behaviors. These will be the kinds of replacement behavior goals that we will be focusing on as they align with the behavior functions.